Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, when next is your meeting with the Speaker?
From all intent and purposes, for what we have agreed at that meeting is that all those actionable timelines we have outlined, we are going to revisit them and review them on 14th of next month to see progress made so far. And he appealed that considering these interventions and the plight of Nigerians, and we should look at a way of how we can then appeal to our members to see reason to shift our vote for this time around. But as I was talking earlier, you said we'll continue from there. Actually, our members, because of any serious government, a 21-day ultimatum that becomes 65 days should be able to get something tangible to avert a strike action. Failure for those government representatives and those shouldered with the responsibilities to do that. Our members proceeded on a strike and said, don't call us again until on 4th of next July. We'll come and review ourselves.
That's what they're saying.
That was what we agreed, even when we were proceeding on the strike. But because of the intervention of the Honorable Speaker, we found it very necessary to tell our members, no, let's come and sit down and review this tangible position without even recourse to the letter you're talking about. Because if we consider that letter again, definitely there's nothing to present to our members.
That's why we're amazed. It's almost 48 hours after the first meeting, which went into into midnight. We were hoping that by now you would have called your members maybe to a meeting and say the strike is off. You just told us a while ago the pains children and women go through.
Okay.
And I said, wait a minute, Dr. Askira, you know this is what they go through, but your members are still on strike, and we thought that,
okay, look at it. There is a guiding principle on how we invite our members. Absolutely. It has its pros and cons.
Good.
72 hours minimum to invite them, because they come from all over the nation. You can't give them just short notice, and you cannot do it when you don't have a quorum. 1. 2, this, just take for instance, after a meeting, at the tail end of conclusion, the issue of letter comes on, and I'm told to ignore it. Everybody ignores it, and the next morning everybody is angry. Let me tell you, the whole medical world is angry with that circular, because that circular is anti-progressive. That circular, it is in itself a monumental blunder. Not
Professor Toyebi said it's not a sack.
No. We will go to that. We'll talk about that.
Let me meant to, a stopgap measure to fill in the space.
We'll go to that. Let me finish with your answer. Let me give you an answer. If, for instance, I just call, all of us call our members while they are even angry. When they come, they will look for the sacking of someone too. Let me tell you, at that prime time, the next thing they will do, they will say, okay, a new thing has come. We are not even considering anything agreed until a sack is flying again. And they will not say sack of themselves, maybe sack of the principal players. And which one will be easier for the government, any reasonable government? Because in itself, that letter of sack is a big blunder. It is a complete description of what is happening in the Federal Ministry of Health. A combination of incompetence,
What if it had happened and everyone gets their sack letters, and some of the doctors waiting on the wings who are jobless pick up those vacant positions?
I'm challenging you, Suleiman, today and tomorrow.
I think the challenge should be for the government.
Okay, I'm challenging anybody that wishes to be challenged, that from now till the next 50 years, tell me, how can you replace 16,000 resident doctors in Nigeria? Is that not a monumental confusion? It's a fantastic display of incompetence. To say, let's. I don't want to go to that later, but we have to X-ray.
Okay, I'm just want to the sentiments of Nigerians out there who are concerned that the medical doctors can almost always seem to go on strike every year.
Okay. How many people in Nigeria? In Nigeria, even the NLC went on strike like a few weeks back, and many other people in the health sector went on strike. Have you ever heard of anybody being sacked? Doctors are being sacked when they go on strike. Is that not telling you that if sack commonly comes up when doctors agitate, there is very great sense of levity shown, and the treatment given to doctors is very unbecoming and unacceptable.
You feel like you're treated like you don't matter.
That is what is obvious. Is it not obvious to you?
But
let me tell you, in 1980,
for the rector,
in the 80s,
for the registrar, sorry, because we were running out of time.
Okay.
For the registrar of the college, he was also like you once upon a time.
He was a president of NAD.
Of
even
NAD.
the minister was
and even the minister. So these two principal officers on the side of government now, they should understand what the resident doctors are saying.
That is the reason why I'm telling you, for them at a point when the number 4 citizen of the nation is coming up to intervene to solve the impasse, for them to sneak out a letter of sack or a circular disguising under whatever terminology, divorce, replacement, or whatever, it has now indicted them the more. Because if they would now get back, what would be their feelings if during that time when they were resident doctors, they were sacked? What would have been their reactions? Would their reactions, now just judge it, last 2 years,
Dr. Askira, let me bring it so you can respond to it before we close. Pardon me to jump in again, interrupting your thought, but about your demand.
No, you don't want them to be indicted.
No, well,
no. Once you brought this letter thing, you have to indict them here. No, when you indict them here, you listen to me indicting them. Nigerians are listening. Well, they are indicted. This thing should never be repeated again.
The thing about it is that we're not a court of law. We can't indict anybody.
No,
we just ask questions.
Okay,
that's all we do.
Okay, you ask questions?
Yeah, but
okay, let me give answers.
But about
let me finish giving.
Let
answers.
me ask the question so you give the answer.
No, you are interjecting an answer I've not finished.
Yeah, that's how the questions can come in.
Okay,
because if you don't now, we'll wrap up and we'll go home because director is in my ear.
Okay.
The thing about it is that your demand,
the
key part of your demand, which the registrar said yesterday, is that they are taking a look at it. They've made that provision. They are going to the National Assembly so that they could aggregate all your demands and then put it in the budget. Because this year they say, look, it is not in the budget.
Don't worry about our demands. I told you earlier, we have reached substantial positions with the Speaker.
On all of those?
On most of them.
That's good.
And one great thing is, we are looking forward to why we can present and even convoke ourselves, engage ourselves and move forward. But let me tell you, without mincing words, when that letter, you mentioned letter, I didn't want to, when that letter started flying, I made it categorically clear until when the Speaker now said ignore it. I can ignore it. You can ignore it. My national officers can ignore it. But I don't have guarantee that my members and the medical community will ignore it. Because to me, as a person, with the energy my national officers and the neck put in place to see that this impasse is resorted, that letter in itself, its contents, its spirit, its intent, it's a monumental sabotage to President Muhammadu Buhari's administration, which it has to be looked into.
All right. So I guess that's indictment you were talking about.
No. To be candid, the president has to look into such an act. It's the most unpopular industrial act that ever happened in Nigeria. In the 80s, even 2 years ago. For someone to repeat it now, then that person should be brought to book. Should be made should be brought to book. Because if not for the Speaker,
we have to go, Dr. Mohammed. We hope that all the parties will come to the table and discuss so that they will sort the challenges and the problems they've got out. Dr. Mohammed Askira is the president of the National Association of Resident Doctors. Thank you for coming on this morning, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
All right, and that's the show today. Well, thank you all for watching. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Nell Taigbe. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, thanks for watching. I'm Sulaiman. Later. See you again.